Welcome to BumbleKast Live. I'm your host, Ian Flynn, the Bumble King, and joining me as always is my Bumble co-host, Kyle, JCRB Kraus.
What's up? We're here. It's somehow been another month, and yet
We're halfway through the year.
It's finally been another month. I don't know. It's either finally or it's somehow already been another month. I don't know which is which. I don't know time anymore. I mean, I never knew time to begin with, but now I really don't. Anyway, hi, Ian. What's up?
Kyle, if it's any consolation, there is one constant in the universe, and that is the folks asking us questions here on the BumbleKast.
Oh, we have many. We have many. They're already flooding in somehow.
Marvelous. If you are new to the show, just a quick heads up, but please limit yourself to one question at a time and don't ask another till we answer yours. We will try to get through all the priority Q&A tonight. If we can't, we're going to roll it over into the next available recording session. We've both been facing some challenges recently, so we've been a little slow, admittedly, but we will get to it. We promise.
Yes.
Big thank you to Jennifer R. and Professor Rye for handling all the questions as they come in. Thank you to Cassie for manning the social media channels. Am I forgetting any other shout-outs, call-outs?
I don't think so off the top of my head, other than I just want to thank everybody for their support recently and everything going on. It's very much appreciated. And yeah. We'll go too much into it. I don't want to drag things down too much on this fun-filled time we're going to have on the BumbleKast, Ian. We're going to have fun, yes. Right? We're going to have fun.
We have so much fun, and I don't think it brings it down to just point out that all of you listening and everyone who's helped you out are awesome. And it's really touching and moving that you are so generous. So
yes,
on Kyle's behalf, I say thank you.
Yes,
to steal your thunder, Kyle.
I say thank you too. I said thank you, Ian, for thanking them for thanking me. I'm all right. Words. Let me read other people's words for a little bit. How about that?
All right.
All right. Starting off, we get into some chats here, some questions here. From Equilibrium, you win. You're the first one. How would you write a story where you have to care about power scaling and power creep? What would you try to keep up with the? Would you try to keep up with the scaling? This is a weirdly worded way.
Sorry for letting a power scaling question through.
Would you try?
My bad.
Would you try to keep up with the scaling chain and calculate their capacities to keep it consistent?
Okay.
What is it? What is a scaling chain and
I don't know, but I can wing it. I can wing it.
Okay.
If the story itself is revolving around power scaling and power creep,
better than who? Scaling chain.
Then that is a core component to the world building and the characters and their power set and the magic system, blah, blah, blah. And with that, then you need to start off small so you have room to grow and expand. And it needs to be a component of the story. The escalation of the stakes, the ever-growing power levels, whatever they be, need to be in service to the stories and the characters and their personal growth and their journey. So that's just more than numbers get big and we turn different shades of Super Saiyan. It needs to mean something. And it needs to have a conclusion because you can only grow so much. And like, once you get to like the end game of Gurren Lagann, that's when you tie a bow on it. You're done. So that's how I would approach it myself. It's doable, certainly, but I think you need to establish your rules and your guidelines from the very get-go. Not necessarily all the plot from start to end, but you need to know what your parameters are so that you can build steadily and meaningfully.
I had to ask what a scaling chain was, and now I'm being explained, and now I regret asking.
That be a lesson to all you kids. Don't pursue knowledge unless it's from me. We need your money. Asterisk on that. I cannot guarantee how knowledgeable my knowledge is.
I'm sorry. I'm just so tired.
I understand.
Okay. Speedhog58 asks, Ian, what mediums of inspiration do you draw from to write some of your most fire dialogue? I can't believe you simply woke up one morning and just started at mortal.
Started at implies that I've surpassed, and no, sir. No, ma'am. Ain't that. And I wish I could take in more media than I do, because not enough hours in the day, but I try to take from everything. And I mean, literally everything: comics, nonfiction, fiction, television, movies, music, games of every type, tabletop and video game. Anything that's got a narrative, that has dialogue, that has interaction. There you go. It all feeds in. It's all stuff that gets put into the gray matter and churned around and turned into something. There's even stuff that has made it into my writing that's like stuff from college, stuff that I would say with my friends that, gets repurposed because it had a lasting effect on me. And I imagined it would mean something to somebody else, or at least be entertaining.
All right. Here's one from Arfo. You must write a Dragon Ball story happening after the superhero arc. How do you do it? You have complete freedom.
I've actually thought about this in like the wild, impossible chance that they actually say, hey, we want to get a very outside the box mindset on this. We're going to come to you. That'll never happen. But gosh, where was it where it left off? It was doing the high school arc, and Frieza Black was just absolutely brutalizing the main two. So I had this thought that Videl is aware of everything going around her. Since she's met Gohan and Piccolo and all that, she understands the stakes to some degree of what's going on, and she knows, I would imagine just through talking with Gohan, she knows who Frieza is and what a bad time he is and that he's still kicking. And that would give her pause because she knows her own personal limitations. She knows the limitations of humanity itself. She runs a self-defense school, and she, is very proud of her students, but they can handle mortals, peoples, regular muggers. They can't handle a planet destroyer like Frieza. There's no chance. They could train that day and night for the rest of their lives. They're not going to reach that level. And it bothers her that humanity doesn't have any say in their fate. And her daughter specifically, even being Quarter Saiyan and with humongous potential, she doesn't want her little girl alone on the front lines in the next generation. So she goes about gathering the Dragon Balls, and she wishes that all humans, or rather all Earthlings specifically, individuals who have been born on Earth, have the same growth potential as Saiyans. Her thinking being that if you devote yourself to it, if you train, if you really drive yourself, you can become something exceptional. And if you don't, if you want to lead just a normal mortal life, you can. And that way there's still a balance in the world. And poor old Piccolo, who would be left behind, no. He was technically born on Earth, thanks to King Piccolo. So he's covered in this wish. He can now grow as well and reach the same level. So all these bygone characters, Tien Shan, Yamcha, Krillin, 18, 17, Chi-Chi, everyone has a chance to get back in the game, to be back on the main stage, and have that be kind of an open-ended A plot. And then B plot, I just want to retool Cooler. Like full on bring Cooler back, give him the Broly movie treatment. He was cast out by King Cold. He wants his empire back. He was all set to take it over until some idiot wished Frieza back to life. So he's siding with Goku and Vegeta purely out of spite to Frieza, but he's no friend of theirs to begin with. And so you have the A plot and B plot, one out in space, one on Earth, kind of building towards each other for this big crescendo finale where you finally just deal with Frieza. And this kind of goes back to our very first question. Thank you for setting me up, Equilibrium. There's your power scaling being built into the characters and their goals and their drives coming to a finale.
I understood some of those words. I recognized most of them.
There's part of me that just wants to say, screw it. I'm going to write this and see if anybody wants to go halvesies on like a fan manga just to get out of my system. But, you know,
time.
That's me wanting to add yet another project to the long list of things I want to get done.
Yeah, you don't need that in your life. You may want it in your life, but you don't need it right now. Not right now. Maybe later. Right now, though, we have this question from Ethan T. In a series with an established power ceiling, when do you feel it's okay for it to be broken? Have it only be breakable every 500 something installments, or have breaking it be a deadly drawback?
Depends on the scope of the story. Like, if you have a set end to it, maybe break that ceiling as here's the final threat. Holy crap, this rewrites what you thought you understood, and now the heroes have to overcome a challenge that you didn't even think was possible. If it's ongoing, then I guess you need to move the goalpost so everyone has something else to aspire to. But that is a dangerous genie to let out of the bottle. Because once you go that far, you can't really walk it back unless that's part of the story. You know, if that transition or transgression is taboo and the whole point of the story is to walk it back, you are grabbing a plunger and stuffing that genie back in the bottle. Get in there. You stay under 1,000 power level, you jerk. I mean, it depends on the story. What are you doing with it? What are you trying to accomplish? If you're just breaking the power level ceiling for the sake of spectacle, you're sure you'll have that wow factor, but it's not going to mean anything long term. And you do it enough times, it's not going to be a wow factor anymore.
Yeah. Let's go on to this question here from Comic the Hedgehog. For both of you, what are the best vacations, field trips, or outings you've ever taken? Which tourist attractions live up to the hype? I'd especially love to know the best parts of Canada.
Oh, I barely experienced Canada. And there's a ton of stuff within a few hours of Toronto by itself. There's Niagara Falls, quite literally. If you have not had a chance to see the falls on the Canadian side,
yeah,
it lives up to the hype. Like, I thought, oh, it's just a big waterfall down, whoop-de frickin' do. Until I got there.
It's a big, it's not just a big waterfall. It's a big waterfall.
It's like seeing the edge of the world. It is awe-inspiring. And that's just in the summertime. In the winter, when like all that mist freezes and creates all these weird alien growths within the basin itself, and everything's got like this eerie coating of ice on it, it's really, really cool. Cold, but it's very cool.
Cold and cool.
Yeah. And about an hour's drive north of where I am, there's the Caledon Badlands, which you drive too fast on the little highway, you'll miss it. Like, it's so weird. You pull off the side of the road. I think they've actually added parking now because people have discovered it. But it's like, it's painted Badlands, stripes of reds and yellows, and I think some like purpley blues. It's been a while.
Mm-hmm.
Just these painted rolling hills of stuff that you would normally see out like Nevada, Arizona type. And you walk 2 feet in the other direction and it's your normal brush and trees and Niagara escarpment woodland. It's like, what is this? How is this?
Just a random slice of desert out in the middle of nowhere for no reason.
It's really cool looking, and it's surreal with just how, It's like you're playing Minecraft and you just step into another biome and just bump there.
Yeah.
There's tons and tons of waterfalls around Hamilton and the surrounding area.
Yeah.
There's a lot of natural stuff to see just within like an hour or two of Toronto itself. Never mind going all the way up to like Penetanguishene or Thunder Bay, or that's just pretty. Lots of water, lots of big rocks, lots of big trees.
I'd love to go to Thunder Bay, but obviously we didn't do that. That's a bit far away from you guys, I think.
It would be more than a day trip. We'd need to stay somewhere,
Yeah. Maybe next time. Which, by the way, my best vacation was definitely going to Toronto. That was fun. Just had good times with good people, you know?
Yep.
It's good times. And then otherwise, like MagFest, both times I've gone has been outstanding. And yeah. I do like going to northern Arizona. We have some really cool stuff up there. I mean, you know, Grand Canyon for one. That's the big one. You're like, yeah, whatever. It's a big hole in the ground. Who cares? But no, it's a big hole in the ground. It's a big hole in the ground. Very large. Very large. So, and Lake Powell. I do love Lake Powell. It's good. It's very good. All right, let's go ahead and switch over to some super chats. Thank you guys for your support in there. It's very much appreciated. Chocolate Watermelon 28 asks, thoughts on recession pop? Like,
I haven't listened to the radio in a while.
Is this like the soda recession?
No. It's, correct me if I'm wrong, chat, but it's the nomenclature for the current pop music that's coming out.
Oh, I was thinking pop music from like post 2008.
I don't really follow the.
It is
the breakdowns of everything.
It's not like, modern. It is what I thought it was. It's pop music from late 2007 to the early 2010s. Okay.
I thought it was more current. Okay, whatever.
No.
I don't follow this stuff. I don't know. I turn on the radio and it's like, I like this. Ba, 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 ba. I don't like this. Change channel.
Let's see. Was that Toxic era Britney Spears? That's pretty good. I'm looking to see artists here of like, wow, I haven't thought about some of these in a little while. Black Eyed Peas, LMFAO.
Somebody's 2000 and late.
Yeah, 2000 and late. Yeah. Wow. I mean, I was kind of fairly tuned out of this era. Like, I don't know, he had some decent stuff in there. It had like Lady Gaga. She's good, but yeah, otherwise I'm like, I don't know. I'm very this was the era of party rock, and I don't like parties that much, so you know. I do like rocking though, so there is that. Alrighty. KB asks, what are your thoughts on the Splatoon Raiders announcement and the Donkey Kong Bonanza Direct?
Raiders, I need to know more about what's going on. I mean, the setup's a neat premise, but what is the actual gameplay? If there's been more since the teaser, I haven't seen it, but you know, what are we doing in this? I want to know more. Bonanza, not gonna lie, the initial premise, you know, just running around punching things, collecting gold so you can punch more things and explore. I was on board for that. Mm-hmm. The additional music angle, the giant transformations that look like here's the press button to win for this sequence, not terribly fond of that. Looks like challenges are set around here. You need this transformation to perform this one obstacle course to get the shine, banana, whatever. That doesn't appeal to me. And I spent entirely too long trying to figure out the continuity with Pauline there. And at this point, I give up. Give up.
Don't worry about continuity, Ian. With Donkey Kong and Mario games, it doesn't matter.
I thought I understood.
There's no continuity, and that's fine. What do you need continuity for? That's for silly things like hedgehogs or whatever.
You just need Miyamoto to come out and say everything is canon.
Don't tempt him. And the thing is that most of the Mario community would probably be like, yeah, that's about right. And I really have no thoughts on these, honestly. Like, Splatoon Raiders, I think that's interesting that having a Splatoon single-player game, but I know practically nothing about that, and I practically know nothing about Donkey Kong Bonanza either. I'm not really keeping up with this, with this stuff. Just, kind of checked out. Andrew B has a question. What if Kylo Ren lived? He takes the name Cinco Bingus, New Republic fighter pilot, to atone his crimes, and is only disguised by a pair of sunglasses. And the name Quattro Bagina was already taken. How does this go?
I don't know, but I'm entertained.
So Kylo Ren lives, and he just goes around wearing sunglasses and calls himself Cinco Beanus, not Cinco Bingus. But I don't know. I think I
prefer Bingus.
I think funnier. Bingus is a little better.
I want him to be in a squadron that is like super, super anti New Order, and like the dedicated anti-Kylo squad. Like all they do is trash talk his memory, and he's just kind of nodding along, going, "Yeah." Mm-hmm. I mean, let's consider for a minute, guys, that he might have been through a lot. Nobody's been through enough to excuse his bull crap. Yeah, I'm glad he's dead. I hope it hurt. Yeah. Urge to dark side rising.
Yeah, well, you know.
Also, Bingus, put on a shirt, man. It's tiresome.
He's still walking around with an open shirt or no shirt. What the heck is he doing? Oh, well. Frozen Apple Juice is here with a question. Hey, guys, it's been a while. Anyway, I saw some discourse on Rock's hair color, but I'm curious for the other Dr. Light numbers. If the Robot Masters from Mega Man 1 had hair, what colors would they be?
I think it's kind of just assumed that Bomb Man would have a mohawk. Maybe he changes it.
I guess so. No, maybe. Nah, I think a mohawk works.
No, it stays a mohawk. He just changes color fairly regularly.
Yeah.
I see black hair for Alec Man. Maybe with like a dramatic white lightning bolt just naturally in it. And everyone was like, that's fitting. He's like, what are you talking about? He has no idea. None whatsoever.
Completely just checked out.
Let's see. Like, Iceman has the most gorgeous silvery white hair. Like, he pulls that hood off and it just magically falls into place. It is luxurious. He hates it. It's so hot. Stuffing it back under the hood. Oh my God. Cutman, just shave it bald. And Cutman's like, I refuse. Absolutely not. Good day, sir.
Well, this is Mega Man 1 Robot Master, sadly, so I can't say that Flashman is bald. But Flashman is clearly bald. Who's bald? Gutsman?
Gutsman.
Oh yeah. Okay, that makes sense.
And Fireman, he's a ginger. It's all fluffy and flame like.
That's a little too on the nose, but I'll take it.
His name's Fireman. He shoots fire.
Yeah, I know.
If he had a nose, it would be more on it. Let's see. Cutman? Cutman doesn't have a singular hairstyle. He's always recutting his own.
Cutman's tricky, yeah. I don't know how he gets hair under that helmet. I don't know. It's a weird helmet.
Who are we missing?
Oil Man and Time Man, do they count?
I mean, technically, Time Man, I'm imagining a just really ugly bowl cut to accentuate his glare as he hates everybody.
Yeah.
And Oil Man, it is slicked down, super shiny with oil. Like there's no, it's like contoured to his head.
Yeah, that tracks. That tracks. Is that all 8?
Guts, Cut, Ice, Fire, Elec, Time, Oil,
Bomb.
Yep,
Bomb.
that's 8.
Yeah, that's all 8. There you go. All right, Banana Cat asks, how do you feel about the fact that when one writer chooses to have some of the hero villains turn over a new leaf, the next writer decides to have them be evil again with no proper explanation? Some of the heroes'
Sorry, you
villains.
went all robot-y on me, so I missed it.
Oh, okay, fine. I'll repeat it then, just for you and
Please.
Everybody else listening.
Thank you.
How do you feel about the fact that when one writer chooses to have some of the heroes' villains turn over a new leaf, the next writer decides to have them be evil again with no proper explanation?
With no proper explanation, that's lazy. Now, It could be editorial mandate.
Mm-hmm.
It could be, the top brass doesn't like it, or there was a marketing reason or whatever. The writer may be given the marching orders. This character has to have a heel turn. You have one issue to do it. Go. And rather than put your heart and soul into trying to wedge that square peg into a round hole, you just say, fine, they're evil. Cash your check and go home. I understand that. I would never be happy with it. It would drive me up the wall. I personally would rather have a slapdash explanation than none at all. But I do understand, at least in comics, that the writer not always has both hands on the steering wheel. Sometimes none at all. They're steering with their knees.
If they're lucky. Sometimes it's just careening off into the weeds with nobody at the controls. Happens sometimes. This one is from Amazing Austin. Are there any characters that you've written for that you would consider on the autism spectrum? And if not, would you ever be open to writing for a character on the spectrum?
I hesitate to name names because that will alter people's perceptions of characters, and I believe scrutinize work retroactively in ways that I don't know would be terribly constructive.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So it's not something I have purposefully done a lot. One, because I don't know if I could accurately and faithfully portray a character like that without it being somewhat flanderized to make it clear what's going on. Because if you do anything more middle of the road, then it doesn't get picked up by the readers. I say with a degree of experience.
Uh-huh.
So if you personally find a connection with something or some character, I'm not going to tell you your headcanon's wrong. I'm glad you're enjoying it, and if it gives you an extra level of appreciation, then cool. It's not something that I'm setting out to do specifically, but if by some chance that character falls into that mold, or if down the line I do some research and find that I am more comfortable making that approach, sure, I'm fine with the idea, but it's not something I'm making a dedicated effort to right this moment.
Yeah. This sounds like something you'd need to have somebody with experience to either bounce off of or even write with on it. I mean, that would be I think that would be the most reasonable way to approach it, since
Sure.
it's not something you necessarily have direct experience with.
That I know
yourself.
of.
Yourself.
I have
well,
tested.
I mean, yeah, not to.
I mean, I certainly wonder sometimes, but and also, if I were to do that, I wouldn't want that to be tokenism. I'm not going to write such a character just to tick off that box. It needs to be part of their character, sure, but their character needs to be more than that. They need to serve a role in the narrative greater than to say, "Hi, I'm a representative."
Yeah. All right, and of course we're like 34 minutes into the show, and your audio interface is frizzing out on us, Ian. So
perfect.
Yeah,
be right back.
Good time. Technical difficulties abound. Hi guys. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for your support and sending in your questions. We are here to answer them. Hope the answers have been okay. If you're not okay with the answers, then I don't know. You guys should know better by now. You know what this show is.
Am I back? Can you hear me?
Yes, there you are.
Excellent.
I'm really just filling in time, really. I don't know. Either way, you ready to keep going?
Always.
Because we got this question right here. It's from Hero Squad. King DDD's Waddle Dees have suddenly become or have been replaced by a bunch of Warios and Waluigis. How does it go for Dreamland with a bunch of Waddle Dees?
Poorly. Like, you thought the food theft was bad with just King DDD?
Mm-hmm.
Now you have all these Waddle Dees all over the place. And, ooh. It's a bad time for everybody, especially when Kirby starts inhaling, because goodness, we know what power he gets off of Wario. Kirby with teeth is terrifying.
Oh, okay. I thought it was Kirby with gas.
Do you like what?
Anyway.
Hi.
Yeah.
It's Kirby just with Waluigi's limbs.
No. You. Terrifying.
I mean, Kirby cleans house. He saves Popstar, but at what cost?
A very, very smelly cost. All right. Shonen Boys asks, Hatsune Miku and Kirby form a band together. What happens? Does this rival the Waddle Dee band from Forgotten Land?
Oh, are you kidding me? They rock the cosmos.
Sounds good to me. I mean, it makes sense.
That's a winning combo.
Yeah.
There's nothing to riff on. That's just the win button.
Yeah, this feels a bit like a Space Channel 5 sequel. I'm being told Kirby can't sing. How dare you?
Nah. Have you not used the mic power?
Yes.
He's got full range. What are you talking about? He basically sounds like somebody walked across a keyboard programming a Vocaloid anyway.
Yeah, pretty much. Pretty much. All right, next question is from Uncle Venus. Since a new Superman movie is coming out soon, I gotta ask, who is that mysterious third guy who appears whenever Kyle takes his glasses off? And where does Kyle go whenever he shows up? Wouldn't you like to know?
I've been wondering that too for a while.
Wouldn't you like to know?
I mean, I don't want to pry. I mean, he clearly knows you. He shows up to cover whenever you're gone, but you know,
don't worry about it.
It does give me pause every now and again.
Don't worry about it. I don't take my glasses off very often, so.
No.
You know, there is that. But I don't know. Don't worry about that guy. He's over there just doing whatever.
All right, it's fine. I don't need to know.
Don't worry about him. Oh no,
I got
Jen is coming over. What's going on?
I hate to rat you out, but when Kyle takes off his glasses, it is Super Sleep Man.
Yeah.
Super Sleep Man shows up and he.
It's true. It's true. You do.
Superpower.
You do know. Yeah. You have experience with that, Ian. You've met him.
Louder than a locomotive.
Yeah. Yes. Somehow.
Able to sleep in tall buildings for a single night.
Only one night, though. Oh, boy. Oh, boy. All right. Super Chats time. Switching back over, starting with this one from OzJam. Hey, boys. Went to my first con today. Had so much fun. So, what do you think about stories that talk about fan bases as a part of their narratives?
What show did you go to? I am curious, but glad you had a good time. Using fan bases as part of the narrative as like it takes place in a real world-ish setting so that the protagonists have fame and the fan base is an actual part of their world, or in like a meta sense where they're making commentary of the real world fan base, kind of poking fun from the safety of the indoors.
Why not both?
The former, if it's part of the story, that's fine by me. Not my particular favorite avenue of investigation, but you can do something with it. The meta commentary, not as much of a fan because one, it muddies what's canon. And two, it's really tempting to like take a couple of false swipes from that perspective. It's like, don't bite the hand that feeds. Like, don't acknowledge the more negative side from your home turf, because then that's not really a fair vantage point. I don't know. I feel like that creates more problems than it solves.
I mean, yeah, it can, but then you get great moments like every time they make references to the fan outrage in like the Harley Quinn cartoon and whatnot.
Well, yeah, but Harley Quinn is like a lampoon of everything.
Yeah. To be fair,
not just fan base.
To be fair, it's being mean to literally everybody and everything.
Yeah.
About the DC universe, so it's fine. You kind of know what you're getting into when you start watching that show. Gotta kind of have to know. Yeah. I mean, they make fun of Bane. The Bane voice. The one Bane voice that Bane has now, because they can never give him another voice because that...
I can't talk about pasta anymore.
Because that
dinner or if we're going out. Because Bane needs to fix his pasta maker.
Exactly.
No, so many ways of making it al dente.
Oh, man.
I've been on hold with customer support for 3 days.
Love that
God,
stupid voice. I love that stupid voice. It's great.
I know they played him for a joke for so long, but I really want him to just like be on a tear about something inconsequential. Batman confronts him. He absentmindedly just breaks him over his knee and then keeps going on.
Yes. You cannot stop the Bane.
Why am I getting a parking ticket? I have only been here for 3 minutes. I will crush you as soon as I get on the line with your manager. Apologies, it's very hard to type on this very tiny phone with my gigantic Bane hands.
Oh, Bane. Oh, Bane. All right, Knuckles Omega asks, Demon Slayer as Power Rangers, how does that go? Slayer Rangers? Power Demons? I don't know.
I mean, you could make a decent argument that the main cast is already kind of Super Sentai coded, what with their signature abilities and color coordinated outfits. It's just less breathing technique, more helmets.
Sure. I gotta
What
be
would the
honest.
swords be, though?
I gotta be honest. I know nothing about Demon Slayer. I know it is a manga anime, and that's about it.
It's one of those things where it doesn't revolutionize anything. It does not reinvent the wheel. It is a battle manga that is almost by the numbers, but it does it sincerely and it does it well. So why question? It's just a solid story about people cutting off demons' heads with swords and special techniques. And I think it's UFO Table doing the animation for the anime/movies. And oh my god, dude, is it gorgeous.
Okay.
And like, this is a tangent, but it is the singular only animated program I've seen that has had 3D art and 2D art actually melded properly. Like, there's a particular fight sequence where the room spins around and the character has to like navigate 0G as what is the floor changes repeatedly. And it is the only piece of animation that I can think of where it actually syncs up, where the 2D character feels like they are properly moving through the 3D space. It is astounding. And the Infinity Castle movie's coming out soon, and that's going to push that to the absolute limit. But I don't care because it's going to be pretty, and boy, howdy do I want to see them fight Muzan. That last season was just one long, we're getting to the Muzan fight. Patience, we got to cover the manga elements first. We know. Here's your movie.
Well, all right. Question from Bug. From your independent projects, do you have any tips on world building and establishing a main character/cast?
I hesitate because I haven't actually like finally published anything. I don't want to sound presumptuous or arrogant, like, oh yes, this is how you do it, when I eventually do it one day. But it's, for one thing, keep your scope in mind. Don't get lost in the weeds like I did with Dragoon. And I've actually decided that the main series is not going to be able to touch upon all the world building I've done for this. It just can't, and it would sacrifice the story. So the next major project I'm going to do is just the series guide, like an illustrated guide. This is Dragoon, and put that out there for public consumption because I want to tell all this cool stuff I made up about Dragoon, and you can't do it just in narrative. The regular series will continue, sure, but that's the next thing. But that's not what you asked. both will inform each other, the world building and the character, because your character has to exist in that world, and through their own journey they're going to explore elements of it both actively and passively. So where your character's journey goes will necessitate what you have to create for them to journey through. Likewise, as you come up with ideas for your world, those will be applied to your character, because if you have this element in your world and your character just circumvents it, well, then why? Why did you create that in your world? What does it mean for your character? And if your character is able to overcome it, why is it they are able to overcome, but the rest of the context or cast cannot? And those questions build upon who your character is, what they can do, why they can do it, why do they want to do it, and what the world is, why is it that way, and how is it affected by the character's journey. Do not be afraid to revise. That's the other big thing, because as you go along, you're going to come upon moments where the character's journey just does not make sense, or the world, that really cool element about your world, it just doesn't work. It doesn't make sense for the greater whole, and you gotta cut it out. And boy, does it suck! I hate it. I hate it so much. But you need to do it for the benefit of your story.
Alrighty. Back to some standard questions. This one is from Zonic. We've reached the Krakoa era, and Charles finally realizes that many of the students have been swapped by the Robot Masters. How does it go, and how vindicated does Iceman feel?
How much can I reference the Krakoa era on a family show?
Yeah.
Iceman's just kind of sitting on his rock over to the side going, I want to go home. 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 I want to go home now, Charles. I want to go home. I want to go home, please.
Good.
No, you guys don't touch me. I just want to go home. Just want to go home. Just want to go home. Just want to go home.
Can you imagine if they do any of the Krakoa stuff in the MCU?
It'll be watered down like Coke left out on the porch.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. It's like not even close.
They'd probably also
the
do
comics.
some kind of dumb forced tie-in that like Groot is the consciousness of Krakoa now, because you can only have one talking tree.
Apparently. We can't have more than one. People will get confused. I don't know. It's weird.
I am Krakoa. No, you're not, Vin Diesel. Stop it.
Can't tell Vin Diesel to stop.
Nah, I really can't. Who am I to stop Vin Diesel? Are you kidding me? On a bad day, he could bend me in half like a pretzel.
He has this whole franchise that he's in about going fast. I mean, you can't stop him. You can't stop him. He's going furiously fast, even.
Yes, I get it.
Yeah. You're welcome. Red Rebel asks, though Transformers primarily focuses on toys, its iterations have had wildly different tones, from campy romps to grim war stories. If you got to write for it, what would your setting be like?
Oh, goodness.
It's kind of spoiled for choice.
I don't know, honestly.
Yeah.
I've only dabbled in Transformers. I have a glancing understanding of Gen 1. And even that I had to do some research for just to write the My Little Pony crossover, which is still a bizarre sentence to say.
Well, I mean, they're both owned by the same company, so it's not that outrageous, but it is pretty silly. And
it was super fun, but and I was given a lot of wiggle room since it was just a fun crossover.
Right.
I don't think anyone's going to seriously nitpick the continuity of the two.
I don't know. You know how people get in. You of all people should know.
I don't care if somebody seriously nitpicks the continuity of those. It's very tempting to say I would start from scratch, just do a new take on Transformers. But then it's like, well, then what do you do with it? I'm not familiar enough with the property to say this is the new direction I would take because I don't know all the directions it's taken.
Yeah.
I know for a project like that, I would want a good editor. I would want someone to say, hey, we want you to do something fun and lighthearted action adventure, action comedy, or we want you to do a war is hell story. And here's some reading material. Here's some references. Here's some stuff to work from. And go from there. I would like direction on such a project. And from there, if I'm given like the guidelines and some points of reference, I feel like I could come up with something or even expand upon a previous run. But off the cuff, I'm not able to say. I'm not sure.
All right, that cartoonist guy asks, time to ask about everyone's favorite Blue Boy. If you had the chance to write a railway series, aka Thomas story, would you accept? Which engine in their situation would you write about?
I know diddly squat about Thomas the Tank Engine, aside from the fandom is devoted.
Yes.
Like Transformers, I would need a good editor or at least project lead and some points of references to go from because I am out in the middle of the ocean with this. I have no idea what I'm doing.
What are the trains doing out in the middle of the ocean? What are you doing, Ian? They don't go there.
Here's the bold new direction. Thomas the Submarine. And he fights Cthulhu. That's in theme, right?
Sure. We'll do that.
You on board with that? Choo choo.
It's Dr. Thomas Light, the tank engine.
Thomas goes hunting for Red October. It's another submarine named Red October. And for some reason, he's voiced by Sean Connery.
Oh, no. Oh, no.
I'm absolutely a Russian. What are you talking about, Thomas?
Wait a minute. Hold on. Is this an actual thing? Is this a spin-off called Tugs?
I believe it.
Is this a real thing or
were there boats and planes?
Yeah, there are. Yes. Okay. Yeah, it's Tugs. Yeah, it's called Tugs. You know
it's
what?
Like the Cars universe.
That makes sense. It is. It's like Cars before Cars. Wow, that's a good point. Yep, it is real.
Although from what little I have learned, mostly through this show, I feel like the Thomas universe has a more solid world building than Cars does. But
yeah,
that is a rabbit hole I don't feel like diving down right now. We have lots of questions here on the BumbleKast that we need to get through. Not mine.
Yeah. Charming Magician asks, what if Kal-El was raised by Grandpa Gohan and Kakarot by the Kens?
That would be fun. We would have a more martial artist oriented Superman rather than what is his fight style? I guess a little more just punchy. I mean, Superman, all you need is to hit something once. You don't really need a lot of finesse.
Superman's fight style is just haymakers and just punching things. Yeah, pretty much.
Although
grabbing stuff and throwing it doesn't do that so much, but a little bit.
You play your cards right. He probably could have saved Grandpa Gohan from Goku when he goes Uruzu for the first time and would be able to explain to Goku, hey, you kind of returned to monkey during the full moon. We need to watch out for that.
Mm-hmm.
That would change the trajectory of things a fair bit. You'd have Goku actually growing up alongside Gohan instead of just heading out on his journey as an orphan.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder if it's worth exploring a parallel between Superman getting power from the sun and Goku getting crazy monkey powers from the moon. Maybe I'm reaching too far with that.
I don't know. It could be.
Point is, it would be an extremely wholesome found family brotherhood between Goku and Clark. Son Clark? What would they name him?
I don't know.
Goku's name is Monkey. What would you name Superman? What is Japanese for star? He fell from the sky. I'm putting way too much thought into this.
Really, you're overthinking this. It might just be Kal-El, you know? Just stick with what he knows. Professor Scruffy-Mad asks, the Pokemon Company have tasked you with a very important mission of creating a new evolution. What do?
Oh, spoiled for choice. There was a prevailing theory that the evolutions were based off the old special division between the special and physical attacks back in Gen 1. And I am failing to remember what that distinction was now, but maybe Dragon type?
There's no Dragon type evolution?
Yep.
Oh.
Call it Drakeon or Wivion? Nah, that's a stretch. We don't want this to drag you on, so that.
Leon D asks, what's y'all's opinion on the writing of the 7 deadly sins in Hell of a Boss and how they compare to other takes on the trope?
I have not seen Hell of a Boss.
I
can't really say.
I have no opinion. I'm sorry.
I saw the pilot first episode way back. God, how long has that been now?
I don't know.
I do not want a number. Don't tell me.
How long has Hell of a Boss been around? It feels like just yesterday. Probably a billion zillion years ago. I found out. Yeah, it's pre-COVID. Oof.
Oh, really?
Oof. Oof. Not by much, but yeah. Oof. Oof. All right. Back to some super chats for a bit. The Might of Gebera asks, Darkseid seeks the best for his conquest, and anything that could put him on top of everyone. Is the power you're having him look for the highest/ultimate up to the point so far in stakes? No names.
Sure. Within the context of that story.
Okay. Red Blueberg asks, do you like the idea that other super forms don't need to be golden, but like... Oh, you sneaky. Sorry, Red Blueberg. We cannot touch on Sonic stuff. Oop. Yep. Sorry. We cannot talk about Sonic stuff. Yeah, almost got it. If you didn't name names, might have been able to do something with it, but you named names, so sorry. Aleph Knoll asks, can you clarify your policy on answering questions about a certain ongoing miniseries for the sake of some viewers who seem to be confused about it? I'm guessing this is related to the thing that Might of Gebera just asked about.
I'm not answering questions outside of like official venues, I guess is the best way I can put it. The Ask Me Anything on Reddit was organized and cleared by the bosses, so that's an official thing. Beyond that, you have to look for like any kind of official interviews or what have you.
Yep. Hero Squad asks, Stitch in Lord of the Rings, how does it go?
He just eats the ring.
Yeah, pretty much.
I mean, it follows the same general beats. It's just them chasing him to Mount Doom. with varying degrees of success and failure.
This is not Lilo and Stitch. This is Gollum and Stitch.
I imagine during the ambush of the Uruk-hai, he's just like tearing through them incidentally while they're trying to get to the Fellowship. The one lead Uruk-hai is marching up with that big dramatic point blank shot right in Boromir's face, and then all of a sudden, Urgataka lands right in his face, starts biting, clawing, tearing him up, and then runs off.
Oh no.
I hate to steal that cool fight from Aragorn, but that's funny. And then, you got this desperate scramble. Frodo and Sam are trying to catch him before he gets into Mount Doom. You got Smeagol chasing him there as well. The big tussle fight in the volcano. Gollum pins Stitch down. Give us the precious! And Stitch just goes and spits it out.
Spits it out. Yeah.
And Gollum goes diving after it, falls into the lava. Everything is still the same. Sam and Frodo get flown back by the eagles, and Gandalf's like, we sent 3 eagles. Where's the third one? Meanwhile, Stitch is just picking his teeth because it was delicious.
Yep. Sorry, I distracted by looking for this super chat. Anyway. Yes.
Stitch running around Rivendell.
This is great. I do quite enjoy this idea.
And then he ends up like following Sam and Frodo back to the Shire, and it's so peaceful and everyone's so chill, and they just give him food and drink, and he finally mellows out.
Yeah. Well then, let's move on to a question here from Horseweave. Got a Game Fusion idea. Mega Man cross Diddy Kong Racing. How would this world play out, and why is Quickman forever stuck in a hovercraft? Because it'd be too quick otherwise.
Huh. I mean, Wizpig is toast regardless.
Pretty much. I mean, we had Mega Man Battle and Chase, so, there's Kart Racer Mega Man is not out of the question.
No, but one that's got that sense of exploration.
Yeah.
The only other one I can think of is like that Crash Racing game.
And even then, not really. Not nearly on the level. I mean, like, really, honestly, the only one that seems to be, like, doing some exploration stuff is, more than anything now, is Mario Kart World. But
yeah. Yo, Mega Man Kart Racer with just like in Monsteropolis.
Yeah.
Cruising around.
I would like that. But then again, I like anything with cars and carts and vroom. Well, let's see. Mega Man and Diddy Kong Racing would be pretty entertaining, I would say. But I feel like most of the Diddy Kong Racing bosses would be a bit out of their depth against the Mega Man guys. Like, like you said, Wizpig would be just not even a factor.
Like, even assuming they just stuck to the rules of the world and only raced instead of, whipping out any of their abilities.
Yeah.
They've got the processing power way beyond a mouse or a little boy tiger. No. Wizpig will be foiled by the superpower teamwork of racing. It's done.
Pretty much.
It's his turn to get stuck on the moon.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. All right. Back to some standard questions for a bit. And Tails asks, it's TV time. What 3-letter phrase, word, or set of initials do you use to identify yourself on this flashy game show?
See, I would be boring and either do my actual initials or do BKC.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And I would just do NGI.
There you go.
Pretty straightforward, I think. Here's one from William C. If you adapted Jet Set Radio into a comic book, will it reveal the GG members' parents?
Is it necessary?
Yeah, do we need to know the parents?
It's been a long time since I dabbled in Jet Set Radio, so I don't remember a lot of the finer details of the story. But do you really need to see the mundane home life of any of them? The whole point is them being on their own in the city doing their thing. Unless the home life can add an extra dimension to that, I would say just stick to giving a little more narrative to why they're going around the city and doing it. Give a more direct representation of them tagging the city rather than how it's more open-ended in gameplay. I don't think you necessarily need to get into the home life. Then again, those of you who are very familiar with Jet Set Radio may be going, no, you fool, there is a gold mine there of character interaction you're missing. In which case, leave a comment below. Tell me in the future why I'm wrong.
Yeah. People usually don't have a problem with doing that. Chrysalis asks, Dear Ian and Kyle, what would y'all do if a dark fountain opened in y'all's houses? It's a dark fountain.
I'm jumping in. I want to see what I look like.
What's a dark fountain?
This is a Deltarune thing.
Oh, okay. See, I'm once again very out of the loop, and I don't know what's going on anymore. Not that I knew anyway, but I really don't know anymore now.
Very, very quick summation. Dark fountains are portals into the parallel world of Deltarune, where all the real gameplay happens.
Okay.
So everything's dark mode, and we would get sick neon color outfits and superpowers.
All right. I'll take it.
And knowing you would probably by default get the gimmick of being able to fight by playing a guitar.
Yes, please.
So into the dark fountain we go.
All righty. Next up, a question from Michael. No, never mind. Can't do that one. Sorry, Michael.
It's been 6 months, guys. Please. We hate to disappoint, but don't do it.
All right. Okami asks, was Batman Nope. Wow, you guys are really trying to sneak him in here. Let's see. What do we got here? Okay, this one's safe.
Oh, wow.
This one's...
That's not bad.
This one's safe. FleshBucket48 asks, in terms of writing layered conflicts for stories, has it ever felt like you were playing a game of mental chess with yourself to get the most out of the conflict's impact?
Oh, all the time. What I try to do is I try to get into the headspace of the characters so that neither of them sounds disingenuous. You don't want a conflict between characters to be, just a straw man getting beat up. They have to believe what they are saying and what they're doing. And there's been a couple times where it's the protagonist I realize is wrong.
Uh-oh.
It's wait, shoot, I need the protagonist to come out on top in this. Think.
Uh-oh. All right, Might of Gebera asks, Do you think Goku can take out reality shaping level characters? He didn't seem to be on the level of something like Super Shenron. So what are your thoughts?
I mean, Dragon Ball, there's probably an example and a counterexample to everything. In the Broly movie, he and Broly punched each other hard enough to shatter reality around them. So in that regard, I guess he could.
Oh, well, I mean, sure, if he wants to. I don't know. Dog with Sunglasses asks, using superheroes with man or woman as part of their name, imagine them as wily robot masters. I want to know what you turn super or wonder into as a weapon. Guts, Galaxy, and Search all sound pretty abstract, and they made those work as enemies, so I don't think it's impossible.
Fair enough. So Superman gets the super what?
Super beam shooting it out of his eyes.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, how faithful do we want to be to the source material here?
Yeah, true.
Do they get super armor? Nothing can touch them.
Maybe.
Wonder Woman. I wonder what I can come up with. It's all for time with dad jokes. Wonder. See, it's real tempting to just say, "Oh, some kind of lasso for like a hook shot or a grapple beam," but that's not that. That's obfuscating it. That's not what you're asking. What do you do with wonder?
Maybe some kind of gauntlets that reflect back attacks. I don't know.
Or maybe do like a version of Time Stop where all the enemies and obstacles are just stunned in wonder at your radiance as you go trotting by. That's a reach, but that's all I'm coming up with off the top.
Bit on the nose.
Yeah, well, I ain't known for my subtlety.
Yeah, that's true. I would say Batman, but we already have. We already have one, technically.
Now I would just say summon up a bunch of bats that you can throw, offensive and defensive.
I guess. Let's see. Would Spider-Man be like the same thing? Throw summon up a bunch of spiders that just skitter around all over the place?
No. That's wall walking and ceiling walking.
Oh, yeah, that makes more sense.
Or take a page out of Donkey Kong Country and create web platforms.
Okay. Sounds like one of the special items from Mega Man 2, yeah. Alright, I can see that. Trying to think of who else we got.
Aquaman. maybe cruise across liquid surfaces.
Aquaman. We already had Splash Woman. We don't need.
Catwoman. You just get armor that looks like Tango.
Yeah.
Medium range slash attack.
Sure, we'll go with that. I don't know. Leave your suggestions in the comments below. Mr. Runodan asks, Archie Mega Man's finale has Dr. Light seeing all future events in the timeline, X, Zero, and Legends included. I have to ask, if he wanted to, how would he try to stop all the disasters he saw?
I don't think he... I think he would continue as he normally would in the mindset that he's going to make a tool to fix the future. Like, clearly the way that he stops it is just to stop. He doesn't do the invention thing anymore. X doesn't happen. Reploids don't become produced. There you go.
Except Wily's still doing it, so...
he makes Zero, but, Zero can't infect anybody with the Sigma virus or the Wily virus, Maverick virus. Nobody gets sick off of Zero because there's no one to get sick. You just have an angry robot, and Rock can handle that. He's done that a million times over.
An angry robot in this universe?
No, I think Light would see all that's on the horizon, see that it does come out well in the end, and go, okay, let's work towards that light at the end of the tunnel. I'll make the perfect actual living robot that will serve as a guide, as a beacon. And this time, that'll help things, right? Meanwhile, fast forward to Mega Man Zero, and
Nope. All right. DDR Master M asks, how would you do as a weatherman? Kyle may answer this too if he chooses. Or, maybe I will, DDR Master M. Maybe I will.
Here's the thing. I actually took a meteorology course, and it's more than just standing in front of the green screen and pointing at the little storm clouds and telling you how your picnic's going to be ruined.
That's a reporter doing that. I mean, like, yeah.
Like an actual meteorologist does need to know a lot of high level math and science, and
yes,
it's beyond my kin. But if I were to have someone like feed me that info into the earpiece, I feel like I can do the weatherman shtick in front of the green screen well enough. I don't have to understand it.
Mm-hmm.
I just have to read the lines. That I can do. I think I have enough stage presence. I can do that. Fun little side tangent, because this is one of my favorite stories. In that meteorology class, our final assignment was we were given a bunch of weather data, and we had to plot it out. We had to figure out what it meant, and then we had to do a forecast based off of that. And the teacher explicitly said, I'm giving you different weather data because each of you have to figure this out individually. So there is no point in trying to collaborate. You're all going to get different answers anyway. It's like, well, crap, it's up to us. We must use what we have learned.
Mm-hmm.
And so come the final exam, and, we're each doing individual presentations privately, and we're going, well, what did your weather data come out? What did it look like? And we're all realizing our data is completely in sync with one or two minor variables. And it's like, son of a gun, he did give us the same thing. He just led us astray. You!
Mm-hmm.
And then the one guy nobody liked was like, I don't know what you guys are talking about. Mine's completely different. It's like,
yes.
You failed.
Well, if I were weatherman, my favorite day of the year would be St. Patrick's Day, because I'd just be a big floating head. Yes.
Top of the morning to you. I'm the floating head of Irish doom.
Yeah, of course you gotta have the bad Irish accent. It's a requirement on local news. All right, Ben T asks, you mangify a video game based anime. You can tweak the pacing but not the ending. It's a hit. Now you must adapt the games that came after. How will you handle it without altering the timeline?
I have lost the thread of the question. Let's back it up and do it again.
You mangify a video game based anime. You can tweak the pacing, but not the ending.
Wait. It's a video game based anime. So
video game based anime.
So the anime is about video games.
The anime is based on a video game. Like, I don't know. Think like the Tales OVAs and stuff like that.
Oh,
I don't know, like an anime based on a video game, yeah, or like Pokemon. Yeah, but what's Pokemon? The Pokemon anime is not a manga first, is it?
No,
I didn't think so. Okay,
the one manga did take inspiration from the anime, but it went in its own direction. Usually forward until it was censored. Anyway,
I guess Kirby right back at you is is something like that. I don't know.
Okay. All right, so that's been mangafied. Sure. Mm-hmm. Okay, it does well. So now do continuations based on future seasons?
No, you can tweak the pacing, but not the ending. It's a hit. Now you must adapt the games that came after. How will you handle it without altering the finale?
Okay, so the assumption here is that the anime took liberties with the source material,
Yes.
and I have been faithful for the most part to the anime version, and
Right.
now must make that sync with what came in the games.
Yes.
Okay.
Now you must adapt the games into the anime or into the manga without the anime in between.
Well, number one, in this hypothetical scenario, I hope the anime was more faithful than like the Tales OAV that you mentioned. Man, that makes me angry.
I'm just thinking. I was just thinking of examples. Like it's the only thing I could think of on top of my head.
Oh my god! Like even Kirby right back at you. That's at least.
Hey,
the Tales of Symphonia OVA just you can hear the Kill Bill sirens. Anyway, depends on just how bad the situation is. Like if the original adaptation went completely off the rails and there is no congruous way to make the manga fit with the core canon, shoot, maybe do a really lazy bridging episode saying, hey, multiverse, wasn't that a weird incarnation? Anyway, back to the proper adaptation.
So apparently, Ian, this question was trying to get you to do this with Blue Rat X. They were way too. You were way too.
Stop it!
Yeah,
you're not clever, and honestly, it's starting to piss me off. We're not doing this anymore. Please respect my personal boundaries here, and let's move on.
Well, at least they were super vague that you didn't even.
It's so super vague that we spent an inordinate amount of time just trying to figure out what the actual question is. It's a waste of everybody's time. Stop it.
All right. Bro asks, don't you think you can... hold on. Okay, this one's okay. Don't you think you can still surpass multiversal level / reality warping characters? Like just have a character 2 times stronger than this one or affecting structure bigger. I'm sorry. I don't mean to like...
No, it's like that kind of highlights my issue with it is that who cares at that point?
How do you how do you quantify a character being 2 times stronger than another one? I don't know how to do that. Apparently there are ways, but that sounds completely arbitrary to me.
Maybe there's a good example of it and I just don't know it. But when you reach that level of it, it's the playground fight. I have infinity power. Nuh-uh, I have infinity times 2. There are no stakes. It's just spectacle at that point. And that's fine maybe for a finale. I'm thinking Gurren Lagann again. But it's not something that I find generally entertaining. And it's not something sustainable.
All right. Here's a question from some dude. Hey, you two, what are your opinions on omnibus comics?
As in just big old collections?
My opinion is they are very large. Usually.
It's a good way to collect very long runs in one go.
Sometimes they're too big and unwieldy. Like, why is this so freaking huge? You could have split this up, but I appreciate the effort of putting it all into one thing.
For archival purposes, I appreciate it.
Yes.
And it's a little easier than maintaining a whole bunch of long boxes. So
yeah, okay. Yeah. I'll give you that one.
Also, if you ever need to prop up a table or kill a small animal, look out! That squirrel's coming right for you. Quick! The single bone volume.
Mm-hmm. If you ever need to fix a wobbly chair. All right. The Cyber King asks, If you two made a band, what would it be called and what instruments would you play?
I would be vocals because I do not have the dexterity to play anything.
And I would play the kazoo.
Mm-hmm. And we would be known as stampeding demon dogs across the Rainbow Highway.
Okay.
We're an easy listening group.
Uh-huh. Well, I mean, it's kazoo, so then listening to it's not that easy.
I'm trying to do my Michael Bolton crooning. You're over there going. The most obnoxious version of Careless Whisper. More than words.
Exactly.
I want to do this now.
I am tempted. I'm tempted.
You know what, Kyle? When things finally settle down, let's put together the gag album. Why not?
Okay. I mean, I still have all the recordings of all the songs we've done on this show. So, I mean, I've thought about like just compiling all those together. Something for the future to think about. Waltz asks, I was wondering, what are your thoughts on Darkseid being a singularity that travels across the multiverse, meaning it's the same guy in the Super Friends and Prime Earth?
Well, that would make Weird Al Darkseid canon. So absolutely,
yeah,
100% full-chested support behind this one.
Yeah, I'm here for it. General Jimmy's asks, Nintendo has announced they're making a live-action Legend of Zelda. What kind of story would you write, and who would be your leads?
What kind of story would I write? That's terrifying.
Well, as long as Chris Pratt plays Zelda, I think we're good.
No. He's got to be Tingle, unironically.
Oh, right. He's not like dressed up or anything. He's just himself, and he's just talking. It's like, hey, I'm Tingle. Kulu Limpa.
Get Jack Black in there. I'm a Stalfos! Look at my crazy legs! No, seriously. Oh, getting back on track. I would be terrified at that prospect. Number one, just making Nintendo happy.
Yeah.
Number two, making the Zelda fans at least complacent. And three, reaching a general audience. That's because what you want, or what I would want as a Zelda fan, is something Lord of the Rings-esque. Something with your big sweeping landscapes, your grand narrative. Not necessarily 9 hours of movie, but something that takes its time, that enjoys the scenery, that builds the mood and the tone of the dungeons and the threats and the lore. And I don't know if that would be sellable to the executives.
We've talked about this before, I think, because I distinctly remember saying that if Link talks in this movie, he better talk like he does in the Zelda cartoon. From the 89 Zelda cartoon.
There's also an issue of...
I think that made some people in the comments mad, so I'll say it again.
Like, if you went Ganondorf, there's a sizable portion of the general public that would call into question some political leanings, I feel, that are not intended, or at least I hope they aren't intended. and are not desired, but they're kind of there. But if you go with just pig Ganon, that again might be hard to sell to the suits. No, trust me, giant blue animatronic pig. It'll be terrifying. I don't know.
Why is he animatronic? I mean, I'm fine with that, but like,
I am so tired of CGI.
You know it'll be CG though. But
look, if I have to go through the hellscape that is writing a general audience's Legend of Zelda movie, I am getting the Henson production company to do a proper Ganon.
Okay.
All right.
I'll allow it.
As for who to cast, I honestly don't know. I'm terrible with actors. I don't even know who's popular these days.
I don't know either. Except Chris Pratt and Jack Black.
The Rock is Ganondorf just to make your lip curdle.
I mean, he could do it. I can see it working, I guess. It's not a terrible idea. Not a great idea. It's not a terrible idea.
No, not at all.
All right. Sejal has a question. Since it's been so hot outside, what did the main cast of Drogoon do to beat the heat? Would it change depending on what location they're at?
Oh, absolutely. Each realm has a different biome to it, and that's going to change by season. So we'll keep it simple and just say the AC broke on the ship.
There you go. Yeah.
Jobun doesn't really care because the Droth have an incredible range of temperatures they can endure. If anything, he's just kind of bucking everybody else. Oi, hot in here, ain't it? Yeah, must be terrible having all that fur, eh, Foreign? And Foreign is sitting there with every single tiny electric fan that he's ever acquired over the years, pointing at different parts of his body, going, I hate you. I hate you with every fiber of my being. And if I could breathe, I would strangle you. I don't care if you're made of rock. I will find a way.
Foreign's like, yeah, it's all them fibers all over you that are the problem. Those all the fibers of your being.
And Wynn's going to be in on it too. She's like, hey, you want me to shave you? And Foreign's like, don't tempt me. Wind is only wearing clothes because Foreign says you have to do it in polite society.
Oh, okay.
And she's ready to strip skin off. She hates this. Why do sweat glands exist if they don't cool you down? This is stupid. She's going to go hide in the refrigerator. Okay. See you guys later. Except Lizzie's already in there. It's like, sweetie, we told you about this in the last game of hide and seek. It's not safe to do that. Move. I want in there.
Let me in. Let me in. All right,
we got Lizzie has managed to eat all the popsicles, but nobody can be mad at her.
We got a couple more super chats that have come in, so let's switch over and do those. A couple of those. This one is from Random English. The main cast of Drogoon has read your adaptation of their lives. They approve, but they have notes as to how they are portrayed. What are these notes? What does the Emperor think of your blasphemy?
Wind likes all the action bits, doesn't like the talky bits. Get back to her kicking ass. And it's like, yeah, okay, sure. Lissy thinks the pictures are very nice and she enjoys them being part of story time. And thank you for remembering to include her. And she likes the story because it's very nice. So thank you. You're super sweet. Have a popsicle. Foreign is unsettlingly quiet for a while and then just kind of takes you off to the side and says, you're not going to write about that, are you?
Oh no.
I'm like, don't worry, buddy. No. I understand discretion. No. Some things are better not committed to page. I'm not telling him that's actually going to be like the plot of book 4.
Oh no.
Sorry.
I was gonna say
he'll have forgotten by then. And Jobun thinks it's freaking hilarious. Like, here is this otherworldly being that can see into their lives from any angle at any point in time, and you commit it to this? The gods are crazy. This is hysterical. Keep it up. Oh, and if you can do a flashback to this one time, he is so certain he loaned this guy money, but the guy said he didn't, and he wants the flashback to prove that he was right. Okay.
Well, now you know what you have to write in, Ian.
Yeah, well, it's you asked nicely. I gotta apply.
That's the most important part. All right, Brett F has a super chat. Spaceballs 2 has been announced for 2027 with a teaser trailer. Rick Moranis has been confirmed returning. Are you guys excited for the movie? I feel like this came up recently, but if Rick Moranis is coming back, I'm into it. I'm down.
Yep, that was my only caveat. They have to bring him back, and I'll see it. And they did.
Yeah.
They brought him out of retirement after how long?
It's been like since the 90s.
Yeah.
So it's been like 30 years, I think, almost, or more.
If he feels like it's worth coming back, I'm on board.
Yeah. If it's not called The Search for More Money, though, I think we have to boycott it. I don't think we can take that.
It would sour the mood a little, yes.
Yeah. I am still concerned about it being actually funny, though, because the funniest part of Spaceballs 1 was the fact that they didn't watch it. You never actually watched Star Wars. So it's like based on trailers, it seems like, and all sorts of other random just sci-fi and other goofiness. There's not much Star Wars in there. Other than like the very, very like very skeletal pieces of Star Wars are in there, but yeah.
Well, there's been so much Star Wars since then, you couldn't lampoon all of it in a single movie.
Yeah.
I don't think they would waste their time with that. There might be a few on the nose nods and references. I'm sure it's just going to be silly, goofy schlock.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
If Mel Brooks has still managed to make it through to this day without watching anything Star Wars related outside of some trailers, I'll be glad, because that means this movie will be just as amazing as the first one. And we're going back. This one here from True Digilabs 11. True Digi Holy App Labs 11. Boy, this guy's name just keeps getting longer and longer. Sorry, I'm not making fun of your name. It's just kind of funny. Like, wow. You were like Digilabs, and now you're adding more words. Anyway. Who would you guys make a Mega Man Battle Network game or Wario game that has more characters' evolution of their powers and abilities, plus new and old characters with no limits?
A Battle Network game, but WarioWare style? Is that it?
A Mega Man Battle Network game or Wario game that has more characters, evolutions of their powers and abilities, plus new and old characters with no limits. I think they're asking making a Battle Network game or a Wario game that has these things.
Well, I mean, the Wario... Are we talking WarioWare or Wario? Like Wario Land?
Wario. And Waluigi Wario.
You know what? Split the difference. Like,
why can't we have both?
Cast into a Wario Land game.
Yeah, why can't we have both? Like, what's going on here?
Like, have the exploration of whatever the land is be peppered with mini games that you have to get through, themed around the individual characters. Shoot, even make it like an origin story for WarioWare. I don't know how much the first game got into him founding the company, but maybe he's going around recruiting all these crazy people to make the company even work. And he gets the idea for all the mini games from his latest Wario Land adventure. That may not work in terms of Wario continuity, but you know what? Bonanza's kind of throwing everything in the air, so I can do it too.
Wario continuity. I don't think there is such a thing, Ian. Don't worry about it.
As for Battle Network, what was the last one they did?
6, yeah.
And they were starting to get into some X stuff from what I remember. Like there was a Zero program, I think.
I think there's like 0.exe and I forget there was some other X stuff too, yeah, but I can't remember what it all was.
So maybe just continue that trend.
Mm-hmm.
Like whatever the next stage in digital network exploration is within that universe, but you've got the classic cast network style basically living through the beginning of the X series network style, which would be an interesting take on things. I'm not familiar enough with the Battle Network's nuances to riff on it totally, but it would at least save it from being just a rehash of X, but it's .exe, you know?
Yeah. I'd be down with that. All right, next one from LF Noel. Just read Sparkflame recently. Loved all the stories in it. Just one question. How easily is Claus McGee beating Goku?
For those who don't know, Sparkflame was an anthology comic that I participated in. A bunch of the IDW freelancers all got together.
Yes.
It was basically a project about how we're all frustrated that we don't get our own original stuff out there because we're all working so hard. So we just put together a bunch of 5-page stories, put it together, gave ourselves a deadline. Bang, it's out there. It's pay what you want. Big old volume of digital comic-y goodness. There's links on bumbleking.com, and all the creators have links somewhere. It's good. It's good stuff.
Yay.
For my part, there is a Drogoon and a Claus McGee story in there because I double dipped because I could. As for Claus beating Goku, depends on which version of Claus. There's 9 of them.
Okay.
And I think the most successful one is going to be Old Man Claus because Goku's going to show up and say, we're supposed to tussle. And Old Man Claus is going to go, no, my back hurts. Would you like some muffins instead? And he just invites him in to eat. And there you go. Crisis averted.
Well, there you go. Cherry Sapphire Cherry asks, thinking about the SM Clone Saga recently, how would you react if you learned you've been a clone since college? Does that matter? I don't see why it would.
It depends on what happened to original me.
Does it though? Does it really matter? I mean,
it does to me.
It's not you, so.
No. If original me comes back and has done so much better, then I'm the failed clone, all right? And I ain't proud. I will go full Liquid Snake on myself. This will happen.
Okay.
I don't even have to have like another dude's arm grafted onto me. I will sock puppet talk through my other hand. Brother, I am a split personality. Yes, I've gone completely off my rocker. Yeah, I write comic books. And meanwhile, original me is like, yeah, I like program the space shuttle and am in shape. And wow, what did they dump in the vat when they made you, boy?
Oh, don't be so mean to yourself. You're not that. You're not that bad. Sorry, I couldn't resist. Necromage asks, which of your Drogoon characters excites you the most so far?
Yes.
Well, I mean, you made Wind the main character, so
yeah, because her journey explores so much of the world and the history just by the very nature of it. And she's this fun, pugnacious character who is going to go through a long journey of a lot of humility. And not to spoil, but come through on the other side.
Mm-hmm.
And that struggle that she's going to go through and how she does it is harrowing, but I'm looking forward to it. But there are so many other pieces around her. And just the little question to the side of, okay, well, Foreign is here and he's like this, but where did he come from? And what is his history? And it's like, that's an entire book by itself, at least.
Yeah.
You know, here's Jobun. You think you know what he's about, but where does he come from? And is there something kind of subversive to that? But it's still a punchline. Yeah, there's that too. And he's so much longer lived than the other ones. He can show up elsewhere in the greater narrative and it would still work. Lissy's personal journey and the outside factors that are going to play into it are a big kind of almost introspective moment for myself in a lot of ways. And I worry for her, but I know she's going to be okay because I make it's this very weird situation because I have full control over this. It's all make believe. All of this can be whatever I want, but as I've crafted it and it's come into place and I know where it's going, I almost become an observer. And it's like, I know what's going to happen. It's prophetic now. I'm Clytemnestra. It's like, you don't know what's going to happen. But it's okay because they're not real. None of this is real, but I'm still very invested in it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm excited for all of it, is what I'm getting at. And that's not just me puffing up my own stuff. What Adam has done with the art is fantastic. Where the story is going to start from is exciting. Where it's going to go is ever increasing and expanding. And then the world itself, which again, I am going to just put together the style guide for this. Because once that's out in the world, once people know what Drogoon is as a concept,
mm-hmm.
they can start digging into it and spinning it off in their own ways and diving into that world and enjoying it for themselves, independent of the main book. And that excites me too, because then it kind of leaves my hands and becomes lived in. And even if it's imaginary, that means my little universe went through its big bang and now it's expanding. And it will outlive me and it will grow and it will be something, whether that's small scale or large scale, that's out of my control. But it will be something. And that is exciting.
Oh, yeah. That is very exciting. I'm looking forward to it. And Gamo123 asks, Wario and Waluigi's Isekai adventures continue, and the Wario brothers find themselves in the Dark Zone, face to face against Jackenstein. How do they react to taking too long? This is Deltarune thing?
Deltarune thing.
Okay.
I'm trying to think what the best response to this is. I think initially they run in terror because that's a very WarioWare game-esque minigame. And, giant scary pumpkin. But I think about the third round, they're going to get tired of it and just like stand their ground and try to fight it. And then they're going to scare Jackenstein and completely turn it on its head. You talk too long. We've been waiting for you. I need to go now. You get back here. No light in this at all. They're going to just chase him down and treat him like a pumpkin at the end of Halloween.
Oh, no. It's rude. Alrighty. We got another super chat that came in. This one's from No Origin. Nearly halfway through the year. How's 2025 treating y'all? Poorly. Thanks for asking.
Like a sock full of quarters.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
You know what? No, that's not 100% fair.
There's been good things about this year. Not many, but
there has like got new cats. They are acclimatizing. They're fun. A lot of fun projects are progressing on my end or on the horizon. Drogoon is inching its way ever closer to completion. BumbleKast is still rolling along, and these live shows are always fun hanging out with you guys.
Yeah.
Deltarune 3 and 4 came out. Still haven't finished it, but that came out at long last. That's grand. There has been good in the world. What you guys did for Kyle recently.
Yes, thank you. Thank you.
World. There's a lot of contrast to that good, but there is good in the world.
Yeah, and I think the beginning of the year definitely started off pretty strong. MagFest was very exciting. Just, I'm just gonna always bring that up, but it's like, yeah, it's being invited as a guest to MagFest is just like a freaking dream that somehow came and actually happened for me. So that was cool. And of course, seeing everybody there, meeting people, seeing old friends. Yeah, it's a really good time. So, but yeah, other than that, yeah, this year sucks. not to put too fine a point on it, I suppose, but yeah, it's been a rough year. But we'll make it.
And I try not to complain because I know it is so much significantly worse for so many others. And
yep.
I feel a bit privileged going, I've had some problems. It's like, yeah, but at the end of the day, I'm okay. I'm safe.
Right.
Still dealing with this concussion nonsense, but otherwise safe. And that I am thankful for and very much aware of.
Yep. And let's go back to some standard questions for a bit to close us out. Explosive Heads asks, "Hi Ian, hi Kyle. Just want to say that I admire your resilience in putting up with those freaks every day, for lack of a non-family friendly word. Keep going high with your projects." Well, thank you, Explosive Heads. That's not a question, but I appreciate it regardless.
Likewise. And, I mean, we're all freaks in our own way.
Sometimes on a leash, sometimes not.
I mean, I ain't normal.
You can't be normal and do a show like this, that's for sure.
No way.
Nope.
Not a chance.
Nope. Gustavo B asks, "Could you tell something about your experience in the Mario comic and why it was canceled?"
Gosh. Thinking back on it. We did a breakdown for a 4-issue miniseries, basically how we did the Mega Man launch, with a general idea pitch for how we would continue from there. There was sample art made. I don't know if there was no script. I don't think we ever got to script. I don't think there were any test pages that I can think of. But a lot of that was out of my hands. Like, I was not spearheading that project. I just produced what was asked and asked about it after the fact, and was like, nope, sorry, never came through.
Well, That's a shame, but at the same time, I know you've said you would approach it completely differently now, so maybe kind of a bullet
I think
dodged.
I think my understanding and appreciation of Mario has changed.
Yeah.
I think I was approaching it too much in the mindset of what had worked before with other titles and properties.
Yep.
I think Mario needed something different. I know some folks saw the material that got leaked a while back and were very positive about it, and I'm glad they enjoyed it, but not how I would do it now.
Mm-hmm. And we got a question from Trenton R. In your opinion and experience, what's the best way to make a character immediately likable and a character immediately hateable?
Likable is tricky because what jives for one person isn't going to work with another. But generally speaking, showing someone doing good is a good way to win your audience over, whether it's just being cool about a situation or standing up for someone in a bad confrontation, uh, cracking a joke that's actually funny. Just something that shows that they are a positive influence in the world around them and to the people around them. That generally makes you go, all right, this person's all right. This character's all right. I will see where they're going. To make them instantly hated, uh, anything universally heinous. Kick a puppy.
Okay, you went there first. Darn.
I mean, that's the easiest thing to do.
I know it is. It really is.
Pick on somebody who is already down on their luck. Putting out a cigarette on somebody's face as they're walking by. It's just show that they are callous and do not care about anyone around them. And that kind of selfishness will hopefully immediately resonate in a negative way.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. All right. Pumpkin Swift asks, with announcements of popular game crossovers with Magic the Gathering, I feel like asking if either of you have played a TCG before. If so, which one?
I played one round of Magic with a friend of mine way back in high school. He built the decks himself and immediately played Black Vice against me, and I lost. And he's like, see, isn't this fun? I'm like, I have no idea what happened.
Yeah, I played it once too and was like, yep, that's certainly a game.
I dabble in the current Pokemon trading card game, but really I'm in it more for scratching that collector's itch. I'm not interested in the meta at all.
Mm-hmm.
And when I do hop onto a fight with a real person, it usually has them play the Arceus card, and I'm like, no, I'm done. I know where this is going. Take your win. I'm not putting up with this nonsense. And then there's a card game built into Genshin that I was really into at launch,
Mm-hmm.
and then it kept growing. And now there are cards and nuances and tactics and plays, and I'm like,
you got the rest of the game to play. You can't sit there screwing around with that.
Yeah. Basically, like, I'll play 2 games for the week to get the bonus material. I've got a Electro Cryo deck that's pretty foolproof. It won't win against a human, I'm sure, but it works against the CPU well enough.
Okay.
Cash in my tokens. I'm done for the week.
I have not really played any TCGs myself, but there is someone here with some experience in it who can talk about it.
All right. So I used to play Magic the Gathering back in the 90s because I'm old. Played with my older brother and sister and their friends, and played against my sister's boyfriend at the time. I had a blue deck. He had nothing but artifacts. I played a card, Hercule's Recall, I think it was, and sent every single one of his artifacts back into his hand. He stormed out, crying like a little baby, to this little 12-year-old girl who just destroyed this like 20-year-old guy. It was amazing. And then in high school, I taught couple of my friends how to play, and my 9th grade teacher was like, "Oh my goodness, you can't play that. That's the devil." Something like that.
Yep.
And then I taught another one of my friends. I taught him how to play Magic, and he destroyed me immediately. So he decided to show me how to play Star Wars cards, and I was hoping that same beginner's luck would work for me. No, he destroyed me. So I haven't really played much since high school, but I really, 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 really want the Final Fantasy VII cards. I really want them just to have. Yeah.
I didn't even know that was a thing.
Yep.
Well then, good to know. Alrighty, one last question to close us out. How you feeling, Ian?
I am starting to feel the strain, so let's do that last question.
All right, Brody G asks, are you familiar with Glitch Productions? They're an independent animation studio most known for The Amazing Digital Circus and Murder Drones. They seem like the perfect studio to adapt Dragoon.
I am passingly familiar of their 2 major projects. I have not seen them myself, so I have no idea what the quality of it is. But they seem popular, so they must be doing something right.
I've seen enough of the animation to see that it is quality animation. So I suppose if you had to choose someone to trust your baby with, Ian, you could probably do worse.
Well, here's the thing. I am super, super, super protective of the main storyline, because that's what I've been working on for so long. That is the clear vision, and any adaptation would need to be like 1-to-1. Like, I would be an absolute stickler. This is just like the animated companion piece to the comic version. I would be a nightmare to work with. But the world itself, yeah, that is ripe for creation. So if someone from the studio is listening and would want to do a Dragoon related project, the table is open for pitches and concepts and whatever, just set within that universe. And I'm far more lenient on, who lives in this world, what can be explored, what avenues can be done. And that I want to see. I want others to be able to play in that playground. So sure, I would be game for that. But the main Wind's story, not so much.
Alrighty. Well then, I think that's a good point to end. What?
Maybe a do-over of Outcast, though.
Well then, while you mull that over, we're going to go away for a while. I promise I'll get some episodes edited and we can put them up. And then maybe we can record a few eventually at some point. It's been a hectic thing going on. Hectic life.
Folks know that.
But,
so I don't think anybody begrudges you for what you have to do.
Yep.
Big thank you to Jennifer and Professor Rye for managing the questions. Thank you to Cassie for managing the social media. Thank you for your super chats and your questions that, give this show purpose. Otherwise, we'd just kind of be talking about whatever we're interested in. And that was like season 1, and we saw how well that went. So thank you so much. As always, be good to yourselves. Please be good to each other. And we will see you next time on the BumbleKast.
Take care, everybody. See you next time.